again to Club Prairie Fire. This is now Series 9, Episode 11. The episode I'm going to call The Blokes Give Scores to Current Cricketers and Try Not to Piss Anybody Off because they work in broadcasting. I am, of course, the prof. I steer this odd ship every single week. We have just completed the Border Gavaskar Trophy. The Aussies are victorious 3-1. Got it done in 3 days there in Sydney. Goodness me. Borny's saying 1 day too many. He now wants 2-day tests. So all good signs for Australia. They head to Sri Lanka next. Obviously, India, they'll take on England a little later in the year. But before we get to those, I'm going to ask our two gents, Borny, Gilly, do you mind giving us a little bit of a rating on each player from the Australian side and the Indian side? And tell us how they went.
Do the ratings, so we're talking about their on-field performances.
You can do on-field, you can do off-field.
I think it's everything they brought to the series, don't you think?
All round.
Okay. There's summer. Yeah. Now, if you have any interesting points about particular players, feel free to toss them in. I know you've always got something odd to add to this, so please make sure you do. All right, let's go. If you don't mind, we'll start with the victors. We'll go with Australia, and I'm going to try and do it in batting order. Obviously, let's go first of all with Usman Khawaja, who played all 5 tests. Gilly, lead us off.
I'm going to give Uzi a frightfully challenging situation. Challenging pitches, a number of challenging pitches against the best in the history of sport. That gives you an idea of where I'll rate Jasprit. In the history of sport, not fast bowling, not cricket.
Better than Tiger Woods, Jack.
The best,
Michael Jordan,
anything that can be considered
Steve
sport.
Redgrave.
Think of the best ever. You're naming a few there.
Michael Phelps.
Phelps. Mate, Phelps is still paddling in the kids' pool compared to the Jasprit.
Okay.
Greatest ever.
So, therefore, I'm going to give Usman a 6. I thought it wasn't his biggest output, but he laid the foundation a few times. He buffed the new ball a few times that allowed others to reap the rewards later. And, teams value buffers. Like other industries value other things that sound like buffer. But 6 for me, for Usman.
6. It wasn't easy. Not easy at the top. He dropped a few catches. I think I'm going to give him a 5. 5 out of 10 for Uzi. Not easy at the top of the order. He had a couple of starts. He'd have been disappointed not to go on with those starts. But, not easy at the top. So I'll give him a 5.
The other opener that we saw for the Aussies was obviously Nathan McSweeney. He played the first 3 tests. Vorney, how did you rate him?
Oh, he'll be back, but I don't think he'll be at the top of the order. I think he'll wait for one of those spots in the middle. I like him. I think he'll be a good cricketer for Australia. I actually see him potentially in times being a good leader around the Australian group somewhere. So that'll come in time. But it wasn't the perfect start. Again, those first 3 games that he played, Perth, Adelaide under the pink ball, Brisbane when it was wet, as hard as it gets. So I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, really? Yeah, I would go 3, but I'm going to give him the bonus point for first knock back for the Brisbane Heat, dropping the big bird on the selectors and going, there you go. I'm going to bring my Brisbane team home with a match-winning innings. I don't think he dropped the bird on him. I don't think he was complaining about anything. He's the nicest sounding cricketer in history, but I agree with Vorney. He'll be back. So we'll go in a 4.
Very good. Obviously, the other opener, which was Sam Costas, let's just say burst onto the scene. Gilly?
Yeah, I think everything that he brought to the table was everything we hoped for in Test cricket. And I'm going to give him. I'd like to see him score some more runs, but I think everything, the all-round package, particularly the fashion from his brothers at the CAT presentation. So I'm going to go. His impact on the game was I can't be too lenient. I know. I'll go 7.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm giving the kid a 9.
Yeah, well, I was
I'm
thinking
giving him
8.
a 9. I mean, I was going to give him a 10 purely for the entertainment that he brought. You know, he's been shoulder barged by the King Coley. He's got 85,000 people at the MCD on their feet, dancing around,
Yeah.
singing. He's also turned up at the Prime Minister's house in a pair of Adidas Sambas.
Yeah, true.
And he caused chaos at the non-strikers end and got a send-off. The first in the history of Test cricket to get a send-off at the non-strikers end. I'm giving the kid a 9. Outstanding contribution to the series.
Yeah, I'll raise mine to an 8 on the back of that, so I'm happy with that. That's fair. The PM, you know, when he went to the Kirribilli house, shirt untucked, pair of sandals on, all the others are shirt tucked in, got their RM Williams on, and what Steve Smith say? What's that? And the kid says, "Fashion, brother."
Well, I mean, it must be weird because every other player is older than 30, right? And you got this
Yeah,
19-year-old kid. He'd be thinking, who are these old bastards?
yeah, like taking that out.
Yeah. Let's keep going down the order. Marnus Labuschagne, Varney.
Oh, I think again, it's not been easy. So you can't be too critical of the batting side of things. But I think his dismissals when he got in would be very disappointing from his behalf. You know, that kind of rundown to gully that he plays on a regular basis. I think it was 3 times in the series he was out to it. Always full of energy in the field and brings entertainment. He doesn't get many reviews right, but that's again added value. I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10.
Yep, I'll take that. He played a few important innings, but there was a couple of missed opportunities. I'll say 5.
Like 5. Okay, very good. Steve Smith had his moments.
I'll start there. I think you know, back-to-back hundreds when it counted. They were pretty big innings. Sorted it all out. What else did he do? He dropped 7. So you tell me,
Yep.
But let me think. I'm going to go him an 8. I think in bloody tough conditions, he stood up when it was needed.
Yeah, I'll give him an 8 as well. To get 2 back-to-backs against Bumrah when Bumrah was on fire was a tremendous, particularly that innings in Brisbane. The one that we saw at the MCG was a pure innings, but the one at Brisbane, he had to work hard there.
Yeah.
It was a little bit ugly at times, but it's good to see him back scoring runs. Dropped a few catches, but he also took quite a few catches as well. And I always think, and I'm not sure where he fits in the tactical brain of the team, but I always think he's somewhere close to the tactics within the side. So, an 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Okay, let's move on to the leading run scorer for the whole series, Mr. Travis Head. Big fan of his here on the pod. I think, Varney, you were up next to lead us off.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 8.5. Magnificent series, particularly down the at the start. His second innings, did he get 86 in Perth, something like that? It was a brilliant innings that kind of gave him the confidence to go and do what he did in the second and third game. Probably the biggest moment of the series when he got Rishabh out at the MCG just after tea on day 5. They're all a bit confused playing on day 5, I know, but he managed to cope with it better than most going into the last session. He found the energy, found the brilliant ball. I mean, it was a Jaffa to get rid of Rishabh to really set up that final session. So I'm going to give him an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go him for the overall everything he brought to it. Like the fact that he can do everything he does and do it looking and behaving like a cricketer from the 80s or 90s, that deserves a 9 for me.
Yeah, fair point.
Very good. Alt?
Yeah, Travis Head, I'm giving him a 9.5. He's leading for me just because of all the celebration as well. You may have seen on Instagram, he put his finger in the beer and just wrote oops, which has caused a lot of headaches for a lot of Indians. And also, obviously always responsibly from a betting point of view, every test I just did over 100 or under 10, and it pretty much lands every single time with Travis Head. It's a duck or a ton. So,
There were very few certainties in life, but it's shit or bust with Trav, isn't it?
Absolutely.
The other certainty is that Ollie finds a way to gamble on everything. That is the other certainty. Very good. Where do we get to? Alex Carey.
Well, I think we got Big Bo in there, haven't we?
Yeah, well, okay, cool. So let's go Mitch Marsh first. Obviously, he played the first 4 tests.
Oh, yeah.
The Bison. Gil, thoughts?
Oh, tough one for Big Mitchy. I love him, absolutely love him. But yeah, I was going to go. I was going to go a 3, but I gave Nathan a bonus point for going back to the Big Bash and saying up yours and winning, and poor old Bison went back to Scorchers, got Rissold first cod, so 2.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give him a 3. I was going to go 2, but I'm going to give him a 3 for his celebration of that flying catch.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yes.
So I'm going to give him a 3 for that. That brought a bit of humour and a little bit of life to the game. It was that Brisbane? I think it was in Brisbane, wasn't it?
Was the Gabba, yeah.
Yeah, and it was a boring week with the rain, so he brought a bit of life to that week. So I'm going to give him a 3. Tough series for Big Bison.
Yeah, like it.
Very, very good. And the other all-rounder that came in, Bo Webster. Borny.
Well, I don't think you can play any better. In a one-off game and a must-win game for your country on a pitch which was a snake pit, to get a 50-odd in the first innings, to be there at the end, Reading, to bowl some nice overs, to take a couple of great grabs. I'm going to give him a 9.75 out of 10.
Yeah.
Currently our points leader.
Yeah.
Billy?
Yeah. I'll go I'll go a 9.5. Yep.
Okay.
9.75 for me. All of that stuff that's been mentioned. Also, the best nickname, the Slug from Snug. And I don't know if you saw, normally people have normal sponsors. He's Prada, his sunglasses, which is a real touch of class from Bo Webster.
Wow.
So 9.75 in the Pradas.
I reckon they're fake.
Call them as fake.
I reckon they'll be fakos. Dubai fakos, I reckon they are.
Yeah.
The other thing about juniors, Mark Ward did the CAT presentation, as you said, Vorney, earlier, and he says, look, Bo, I've done my research. Your mum and dad are here, Jill and Rod, and you're from Snug. I've got no idea where that is. Having just said he'd researched it, but it was a big one for Bo.
Well done. And then obviously Alex Carey. We just talked about, he equaled the number of dismissals. Was it Alex or sorry, it was Richard?
No, it was Rishabh.
Apologies, but Alex, a solid series behind the stumps. Gilly,
yep.
What did you give him out of 10?
I gave him a 7.5. I thought it was a very, very decent. No frills, no fuss. That's where the keepers do their best work, where they're not really noticed too much. But he was excellent.
Yeah, I agree. 8 out of 10 for me for Carey. Got a few valuable runs. I think it'd be disappointed that he didn't go on and get a big score, because I think he's playing well enough to do so. But his keeping was immaculate. He makes it look very, very simple. He needs to iron out why he keeps getting bowled.
Yeah.
It's castled a lot.
Yeah.
That big gate that he creates with the big drive. He's got to try and work that out. But he's Mr. Consistent behind the sticks.
Right, very good. Pat Cummins. Wow. I mean, he currently holds, what did you say, Gilly? He holds the America's Cup. I think he's got 2 or 3 of the golf majors.
Has he got the Ryder Cup as well, has he? Even though he's from Australia, has he got that?
I think so.
Yeah, got that one as well.
He has every trophy known to man.
Has he got the Tilcon trophy? That was a one-day trophy that we played for back in the 90s at Harrogate with Yorkshire. Has he got that?
He does.
He'll get a shot at that if Australia plummet down into the bottom tier.
Get the Tilcon.
Gilly, were you leading off here?
Remember that? The Cockspur Cup.
Cockspur Cup, yeah. The Sunday competition. We won that, my club, Sheffield Collegiate, one year.
Jesus. I'm going to go Cummins 9.75.
9.75.
He was great.
How many tosses did he win, Ollie?
A few.
He lost a couple that you'd much rather lose.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 9.85 because he lost the biggest toss of probably this series, and that was in Sydney. That was a tremendous toss to lose. It really was. It was a green top day. Did plenty all throughout the game, but he is a wonderful cricketer. He always delivers with the ball, but pretty much all the time when the team need a few runs with the bat. He's always there or thereabouts. So yeah, 9.85.
Yeah.
Very good. Captain Courageous. Mitchell Stark obviously did very well in Adelaide, as we know. Loves a pink ball. Borny?
Yeah, 8.5. He had a good series. Rock solid. Started great. I think towards the back end he clearly was struggling with a side or a back. I'm not too sure what it was, but and also I don't know if you saw on the lunch break, his house is magnificent. He really has got a nice house. So yeah, 8.5 for Mitch.
8.5.
Very good. Let's go next. Gary, Nathan Lyon. Gilly?
He didn't play.
Did he? Was he there?
Nathan Lyon.
Did he?
As in he didn't bowl.
Sorry. Got it. Just see how slow I was then? Yeah, very good. So zeros. Is that what we're saying?
Well, no, he turned up. He was there. I did see him on a few occasions, but I suppose he got Shubman Gill out at the SCG with a good one just before lunch, day one. He got a couple of good wickets in Melbourne towards the back end. He got Nitish Kumar already. I think he got the last wicket at the MCG. Good celebration. So I didn't do a great deal wrong. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. Yep, I'll go with that. 6. He couldn't have done much more, but yeah.
And he got some nice runs at the G.
He did. Yeah.
6 as well, Kelly. All right. Leaves us with our last two fast bowlers. Let's start with poor old injury-prone Josh Hazlewood. Gilly?
Yeah. What did he play? The 3 tests, of which after one of them he sat out. Yeah, just frustrating period for him, isn't it? I'll give him a 5. When he bowls, he threatens and he's always in consideration. But yeah, 5.
I'm giving him a 9 when he bowls.
Yeah.
The impact that Hazlewood had him in that first week. I mean, you look at his numbers in the series, Ollie, what are they? I think he averages 12, doesn't he, with the ball?
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah, 9. He just got an injury at the wrong time. But that attack, I mean, the great debate will be next year. If you play on the same wickets in Brisbane, Perth, and the SCG as you have done this time, do you need a frontline spinner?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just play all your 4 quicks. That'd be the great debate. I'm sure the pitches will change. But if the same pitches are played on, you don't need your frontline spinner on those decks.
Okay, we're happy with that. Gilly, did you want to up your score a touch?
I mean, you gave him a 5 and he's averaged 12 with the ball.
But I guess
how many wickets did he get?
6 wickets, average of 13.16, economy of 1.97.
6 wickets?
And a fourfer, yeah.
Yeah, 6 at 13s. I mean, it's not bad.
9 with 6 wickets.
Yeah, I can only judge on when he played. He was outstanding when he was out there.
Okay. We'll
take
that offline.
Fair enough. What do I go? 5.
Yeah.
And you went 9.
Yeah, I've got 9.
I'll go 5.25.
Yeah, good idea. Point. Just quietly, bro. We're not doing every Indian player that played in the series.
Well, I don't know. This is what I said. It's going to go long. I said this. This is going to go long. So let's speed this up. Scotty Boland, give me a score.
10.
Yeah, 10.
Okay.
10 from Len.
Yep.
Well, he's our leader. Scotty Boland, congratulations. Go to the Australian side. Now, between the two sides, I would like to ask Ollie, you come in, you have to, again, do our little sponsorship bit here, please.
Just very quickly before we do India, which will be quicker. That's why I did one line on each for the Indians. It's Jasprit Bumrah. We're teeing up for him because what an incredible series. Got us thinking, CATO, cricket.com.au/travel before England come out. Vorney, what for you is the greatest ever touring performance during Ashes? An English player in Oz, a memory. And obviously everyone has texted in and said 203, but anyone else that you can put forward for just a brilliant tourist during Ashes?
Yeah, I think Phil Tufnell. Without question, he came down here in the 90s. He had a few issues in Perth. He was, I think, taken to see a specialist because he was, I think a TV might have gone out of his room. through the window. That happens on tour. So I think they sent him to see a psychiatrist, and he released himself from that psychiatric unit and was chased down the street in Perth. And I'm led to believe he went straight back into the team room, of which I think Gucci might have been the captain, just letting the team know that we're struggling. Obviously, there'll be no Phil Tufnell this week. He's having a few problems, and Phil just walked straight in the team room with a bottle of Heineken and said, "I'm ready to go." So you don't get much better than that. And I think he might have got a 5 for that week in Perth.
Okay.
There's not many cricketers have ever done that. So the greatest tourist that England have ever brought down. I mean, Beefy had a few tricks in the 80s. David Gower and John Morris with the plane.
Yeah.
I think that was early 90s. They took a plane up in a warm-up game just to try and see the pitch, to see what was happening. I thought it was quite a smart move by David Gower to just get an oversee, like the Flying Fox, just to try and get to see what the cracks were doing ahead of his time. But Phil Tufnell, without question, is the greatest English tourist here in Australia.
Is that the one where there might have been some off-field issues for Tuffer's personal issues, and when he got home, he got back to his house, went from Heathrow, opened the front door of his house, and his father-in-law threw a brick at him?
I don't think he threw it. I think he just whacked him with a brick.
There you go, the cat. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, about to say how perfect the cat for Cato.
Yeah.
So you get on there, you get your flights, hotels, and you may be able to tour with Tuffers. He's probably coming out for it, so he can show you all the hot spots.
Well, or he will be here, yeah.
Yep.
Wonderful. Very, very good. All right, let's run through this Indian team. What I'll actually do is, to speed this up, I will ask you both for a score, but only one of you for a comment. And only if you disagree with the other person should you interject. All right, let's go. Let's start with Jaswal. Let's start with you, Vorney. I think I went Gilly first last time.
Yeah, 8.5. I think he's the next superstar of the world game.
Score, Gilly?
8.
Beautiful. KL Rahul. Gilly?
7.
Yeah, 7. I mean, he was great when he started the series at the top, though. Then they moved him down. Then they took him. Yeah, I thought he was hard done to, but yeah, 7.
Obviously, Rohit Sharma up there as well. Vorney?
1.
Gilly?
1. 2.
And we will never see him on this podcast ever again.
He'll be back. Well
done, gents. Who have we got next? Shubman Gill.
Well, he frustrates me.
Yeah.
He can play, but he's got to get bigger scores. He's a wonderful, the elegant one is how he calls him. 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I was going to give him a 3, but I'll give him a 4 because I think no player in world cricket has better hair when they take their helmet off.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
As soon as that helmet comes off, it is like he's had Selsun Blue just rinsed through it, blow waved. It's perfect.
Can I go back to Rohit and say 3, actually, because not many captains in the history of Test cricket would pull themselves out of a Test match.
Yeah.
So he deserves an extra couple of points. So Rohit's getting a 3.
Okay, very good. Virat Kohli.
Would he get the 100?
Big 100 in Perth, but also for, bums on
he's
seats.
brought loads. He bought the barge. He brought the sandpaper.
Did.
He G'd up the crowd. He's probably run at concerts faster than I've seen anybody run at a player in the history of the game. I'm going to give him a 7 for the entertainment that Virat brings.
Yeah.
He brings so much. 7.
We did say that. It was an all-round package. He brings eyeballs to the game. So, 7.5.
Rishad Pant, Gilly?
Oh, well, if everything we've just spoken about, bringing extra people to the game, I'm going to go an 8.5.
Yeah, 8.5. I agree. And whoever tried to get him to play conventionally in the first innings at the SCG should be completely taken out of that Indian management group.
Yeah, well, yeah. No, we all felt for him in that first innings at the MCG. To cop that cherry.
Oh, yeah, the one over the top, yeah.
He was set. He built, and
that's right.
He copped a good one.
And the one in the second innings were pretty good. The flight from Travis.
Totally.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Jadeja.
Ravindra Jadeja.
Yes.
He was plucky. He was good. He added a bit of spunk to him. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go a 7.5, maybe 8, maybe.
Yeah, I think he's a brilliant cricketer. Yeah, 7.5. He always contributes.
Yeah.
Reddy. First bit of the scene, Vaughnie. You guys got to chat to his dad.
He just faltered at the back end, didn't he, in the last game? But he's a quality player. That 100 at the MCG and the interview that Gilly gave, the broadcast with his father, who he still has got no clue what the questions were. I'm going to give Nitish an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, he gave me one of my broadcasting career highlights, so I'm going to go 8.5.
Very good. Sundar?
5.
5.
There or thereabouts, when he had a couple of good knocks, got a couple of poles.
Yeah.
5.
Okay. Obviously, Krishna.
Krassid actually got 6 wickets in the. I don't think he bowled well. Got 1 or 2 to bounce and fly, and got a few. I mean, he bowled a beauty to get rid of Constance in the second innings. So
fucking worked him out very early, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 7. He got 6 in his 1 Test match.
Oh, okay, right. I'm going to go 6 for 6.
6 for 6. Wonderful. Very good. Wow. Jasprit.
10. Well, it's Gilly's called him the greatest sportsman of all time.
I'm not rating him. There's no number befitting of what he is.
Greatest ever.
The world sport.
Infinity. Is that what you're giving him?
And beyond.
Interesting.
Hey, mate. Seriously.
Yeah.
He would have fucking ripped Don Bradman's pegs out in a matter of balls. Like, it would have been, away, hello in, good evening, Donald.
You're saying that Don's average of 99.99 would be what if Bumrah had bowled to him?
Well, it depends on how many times they played against each other, but it would have been much further south of the 99 that it sits at.
What, like high 20s?
There might have been a couple of failures. I give Don 35 against Bumrah.
35.
That's good.
He's the best sport.
Yeah.
Laureate Sports cannot have an award that's high enough for him.
Right.
You've been there, Vaughnie. You know what that's all about. The creme de la creme of sport, world sport.
Yeah, I'll get onto the Laureate Sports for Good Foundation to see if they can create an award for Jasprit.
I'm sure they're already working on it, Vaughnie. They wouldn't. I mean, you'll ring them and they'll say, "We know, mate. There's already one."
Yeah, right. Yeah, all done.
And obviously Siraj.
I like Siraj. I like what he brings, and the send off was great. He got booed at every venue.
Yeah.
There's many that don't agree with the booing, but he just brings great drama. He's like the pantomime villain. It just created that spice for the series. I'm going to give him 8.5. I think he's the kind of player that I'd want in my team. He just runs in all day.
Yeah,
him.
Bang on. Beautiful. There. 8.5. Love him. Love everything he brought.
Love it. Now, a few names that obviously didn't appear in the last Test match. The Professor, Ashwin, called it a day. Yeah, obviously.
He's had a good time on socials, though, since his retirement. Yeah, so I'm going to give him an 8 just for his, he's finished. And a lot of people that finished, they've had enough of the game and they just want to get away. And you don't hear from them for a while. But he was on social media straight away, contributing to the series. So I'm going to give him an 8.
Okay, yep. Gilly?
Yeah, I like him. I'd like to see him back on the pod at some stage too. So 8.5.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
9 from me, because during, I think, the second test, he came out and said Bethel was a generational talent.
I'm going to give Ollie's internet a 2. Everybody's okay with that?
Oh, have you got me?
No, you have to start.
Oh, have you got me now?
Again. Can you say why you gave Ashwin a 9, Ol?
Because he called Bethel a generational talent, I think, after the first test.
Yeah, good shout. Yeah, I'll change mine to 9.25.
Deep and obviously Jarrell all played Test matches as well.
Did they?
Yep. Jarrell must have been the first.
Yeah, he played first. Akash Deep played a couple. He was good.
Yep.
Liked him.
Yeah, he batted well in Brisbane, didn't he? He got them over the line for that follow-on.
So, what are we giving Akash Deep?
7.
7? Gilly?
Yeah, I thought he was unlucky.
He was. He bowled without luck. Yep, 7 for me.
Jarrell? We didn't really see him do much, did we?
I can't even remember that he played, so it's very hard to give him an assessment. But I think he's a good cricketer. He's going to be part of the new generation, so he's a good player. 8. I'm going to give him an 8.
I'm going to go Jarrell took an absolute blinding catch at bat pad over there in Perth. I'm going to give him a 5 for that. He didn't do much else, but
yeah.
Okay. Have we done everybody there?
Rana.
Sorry, we missed Rana.
Did he bowl? He bowled all right, didn't he, Harshit?
yeah, he was
tremendous in that first game.
Started well. He was strong.
6 for Harshit.
No, I think they've got a good stock of quicks, India, that they can draw on any one of them. Obviously, the big dog, the fella that's simply out in the outer stratosphere of sport, not just cricket. And then Mohammed Shami comes back in, and then you can pick you got Siraj. Yeah, they got good balance, good depth, They go deep.
It's pissing it down in the Cooge.
It is magnificent here in Port Douglas. Goodness me, I've never seen such blue sky.
I feel a little bit Pep Guardiola today.
Well, for the first time in about 10 years, I got a thing called sun. I got a little bit of light on me. Anyway, that's a compliment.
You could actually be pro. You could be Pep Guardiola or Eric Ten Hag. You could be both.
Both very handsome gentlemen. I think also both about 15 years older than me, which doesn't bode well for me. All right. Hey, the last thing I wanted to do before we jump out of here is, and I love this, the two, in football you'd call them managers. In cricket we call them coaches. The battle of wits, who presented a better, obviously we saw McDonald, we saw Gambier. Who did a better job as coach?
Ronald McDonald, without question. I studied them in the morning. He's quite good with the Snickers. Right-handed Snicker, he's quite good with that. I like his manner. I think he's an excellent coach. I was going to give him a 9.5. It's gone down to 8.5 because he's mentioned and complained about the kid being abused slightly on the pitch and the send-off. It's an Australian thing that's been happening for hundreds of years, so I don't know how they can complain about that. So a point got knocked off. Gautam's been interesting, Gil. I mean, he's got a job on. He has got a job on. I don't think it's easy, but his last two series, 3-0 at home to New Zealand, 3-1 away in Australia, he'll need a good Champions Trophy, I think.
Well, I think he might have been the one responsible for telling Rishabh to tone it down in that first inning in Sydney. So you've just called for his head, effectively.
dig in.
I think Ronnie McDonald, he gets the votes there, definitely.
Very, very good, gents. Anything else anybody would like to mention during this pod, or can we put the Border Gavaskar series to bed?
Daniel Vettori does a really good job for Australia as well.
Oh, what rating would you like to give him?
10.
Whoa. Okay.
He's in charge of their golf diary.
Gotcha.
And they play a lot of good courses. He gets it absolutely spot on with the courses that he picks. And he obviously makes sure the cars are there for pick up, get to the course, get to the tee time, play the game, have a bit of fun. So that is very important in this era of the game. So I'd give him a 10.
Yeah.
Does the Indian side have a Vitters? Do they have a Daniel Vettori golf?
They don't. And that's probably what lost them the series.
Well,
something to look at.
The only other support staff that needs mention on the flip side for India was little Raghu. Their little fella, he's got the wanger. He comes out with wicket-keeping pads on to do a bit of work. He does fielding, but he bowls to him with the wanger. They reckon he bowls about 160 clicks. and he's the nicest, most polite, humble young man that you could ever meet, isn't he, Vaughan? He meets you
I
with
agree.
a big handshake every day. So well done. He's 10 out of 10, definitely.
I think he's got a life contract at the BCCI.
Yep.
So he should.
Yeah.
That's not bad. All right. So, gentlemen, I guess the biggest takeaway from today's pod is that Jasper Bumrah he's a demigod, is he? Or he's not human?
He's not human. You just keep an eye out for the next Marvel movie.
Okay, it will be Jasper.
Fucking clean them all out. He'll clean them all out. Away in.
Very, very good. All right, just a reminder, follow us at Club Prairie Fire. That's everywhere, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Gents, all that's left to do, Gilly, is if you've got another little toast there for us, mate.
Just going again, are we?
Yes.
All right. Well, all I'll say is if this gets out in time, make sure that you're watching the Big Bash tonight because I'm on comms. Great series.
Yeah, nice series. Enjoyed it.
Thanks for watching. I cannot believe you made the end, but glad you did. Chuck us a like and also subscribe so we can get some sponsors.